designs make a statement. Others make a promise. In 2013, the BMW i8 made the promise that the car of the future would be different, made of different materials, powered by different means, yet still looking utterly potent, fast, exciting.
Imagine that. A future that's neither about deprivation nor danger. This is what the BMW i8 shape, with its wedge silhouette and adventurous buttresses and panes, suggested. That car design hadn't run its course yet. That there were new ideas for addressing new concerns.
The seeds for that other car design future were sown at a time when the US president's name was Obama, and 2 years into the existence of a small automotive startup by the name of Tesla Motors, and when BMW design was still overseen by Chris Bangle, the man who disrupted the craft of automotive design the previous decade like nobody else before him. Bangle was to leave BMW just as Project I was getting underway, the Bavarian carmaker's megacity vehicle think tank that would eventually create the groundbreaking, fully electric BMW i3. That car was many things, but an ultimate driving machine in the traditional sense, it emphatically was not.
It was therefore decided, in order to make the whole concept of electric mobility somewhat more palatable to traditional car aficionados, to launch this space and energy efficient urban mobility device in conjunction with something more clearly aimed at providing sheer driving pleasure.
Something that wasn't a spectacular mobility concept, but spectacular, full stop. A mid-engine sports car unlike any before it, engineering and design-wise. A visible, tangible and drivable expression of good old fun for the future. That fateful year 2008 saw BMW unveil another mid-engine sports car in concept car form, the M1 Homage, which was exactly what its name suggested. Another year later, it was followed by concept-efficient Dynamics, a daring, unapologetically futuristic concept car that came with the largest glass doors since the Bertone Marzal. Its hybrid powertrain was clad in dramatically flowing, layered bodywork, a style that extended from Mario Majdanzic's exterior, the Jochen Pesen-penned interior. Not since Paul Brac's turbo concept car of 1972 had BMW dared think quite so far ahead. By 2011, vision-efficient Dynamics had evolved into the i8 concept car, an only slightly less outrageous greetings card from the future, and a teaser to an actual production model, as the powers that be ruling over Munich-Milbertshofen had decided to put that visible, tangible and drivable expression of good old fun for the future into production. Just like Brac's gull-wing doors and impact absorber-equipped turbo UFO had evolved into Giugiaro's somewhat more earthly M1 back in the 70s.
The i8 was no M1 homage though, nor was it an homage to anything else for that matter. It took a few cues deemed indispensable for any kind of BMW design, like the double kidney grille, the Hofmeister kink, the L-shaped rear lamps, and combined them with certain styling trends of that period. Those styling trends weren't simply adopted though. They were taken to new extremes.
This especially applies to aerodynamics, having evidently always been a factor in sports car design in particular. The way the air flows above, below and through any sports car became as much of a styling as a design feature by the late 2000s. Flying buttresses, fins, air in and outlets hence weren't being integrated discreetly, but proudly turned into prominent aesthetic features. With the i8, BMW design took things even further, courtesy of its layered design.
The i8's layered looks aren't the result of its designers having jumped on some bandwagon. They're a direct consequence of its fundamental engineering and design. For a car built like no other, would inevitably also look like no other.
Take the seemingly empty space between the rear wheels. Owing to the i8's compact hybrid powertrain, there is space for air where there would otherwise be some big V8 or V12 engine. This allows the i8's core body to be especially aerodynamically efficient, courtesy of its being teardrop-shaped. Thanks to all those flying buttresses and layered ducts, the air is precisely guided around that core body. That's only half the explanation for the i8's singular appearance, however.
Those layered looks were the designer's response to the i8s being made of all kinds of materials, from aluminium over carbon fiber to thermoplastics. All those materials would expand in different ways, requiring creative ways of attaching and combining them.
Not that this was in any way obvious when looking at the i8, which seemed every bit as coherent when it went on sale as when it was first presented as a Bavarian UFO visitor from the future in 2009. Clearly, the designers responsible had their work cut out for them.
Luckily, BMW design was quite the creative powerhouse in those days. For despite the in equal parts famous and infamous Chris Bangle having already left in 2009, his ethos of relentless, sometimes even reckless creative exploration was still very much intact, as was a lineup of some truly extraordinary creatives.
Bangle's successor was one Adrian van Hooydonk, who had previously designed the BMW E65 7 Series and E63 6 Series exteriors. Design of Project I in its entirety, i3 and i8, was being led by Benoit Jacob, former Renault design prodigy who guided a team of up-and-coming creatives. Among their tasks was the need to turn an otherworldly design statement into a car that could be built not just in the hundreds, but thousands. More significantly still, it needed to be turned into a car that could be driven every day of the week to any destination. While keeping those striking aesthetics intact, the designers had to keep an eye on all kinds of mundane matters, such as making provisions for storage space inside the cabin and enabling decent ingress and egress, while still maintaining the stylistic theme of the concept. This resulted in the final A8, differing from vision-efficient dynamics in most ways. Even so, it still perfectly captured the concept's looks and ethos. The BMW i8 was naive in the sense that it wasn't one of those "let's make this one 3% better than the previous one" cars, but a design that dared usher in a brave new era, or so it could have been.
More than a decade after its launch and 6 years after production has ended, the i8 still stands for the future of an alternative timeline that isn't so much defined by doom and gloom, but creativity and opportunity.
These days, it's very easy to forget that the automobile actually is an inherently progressive concept. The BMW i8, that car from the other future, makes for quite the vivid reminder.